Day 2 of NBA free agency is here, and sure, there are some big moves made this morning and late last night with Isaiah Hartenstein and Paul George, but there are plenty of some good free agents out there, and we have to talk about the top 15. I am Nick Roloff. This is NBA Now, and the number one guy, no surprise, is LeBron James. Now, I will add a little caveat here, is LeBron is really not a free agent. He is, but he isn't. He is going back to the Lakers. There's expectation that he is just waiting to see if the Lakers add another big piece, whether it be Klay Thompson via sign and trade, because that could affect what money LeBron could get from Los Angeles. But he is going to be returning to the Lakers. It just is all dependent on if he is going to get a max contract over the next 3 seasons, or is he going to take a slightly discounted contract with Los Angeles to make sure they can get a Klay Thompson during sign and trade. The real best free agent is probably DeMar DeRozan, the guard/forward from Chicago. And to me, his market is very interesting. The Bulls finally feel like they're going in the right direction of a youth movement after they signed Jalen Smith this morning. But now with DeRozan being one of the best scorers and available free agents, you have to wonder if a team like the Los Angeles Clippers, who just lost Paul George to the Philadelphia 76ers, could go out and try to get DeRozan as their wing scorer to pair up with James Harden and Kawhi Leonard. I am not sure what DeRozan's market will actually look like. I am just pure speculating that the Clippers could be interested. There really hasn't been any buzz out there on DeRozan on what team could possibly want him. The Clippers make the most sense. We'll see if anybody emerges relatively soon. We know what the market is for Klay Thompson, the longtime guard from the Golden State Warriors. Well, it was reported as soon as free agency opened from Shams Charania that Klay and the Warriors are going to be parting ways, and there is no chance of him returning. Now, it will be through a sign and trade in all likelihood, and the 2 top teams for Klay Thompson are the Dallas Mavericks and the Los Angeles Lakers. As I mentioned, LeBron kind of waiting to see if they can secure Klay Thompson. That makes sense from Klay's standpoint. His dad, Michael Thompson, played for the Lakers. If I'm going to be honest, I don't understand the Mavericks fit because he'd likely be a 6th man. Or in Los Angeles, there's a good chance he could start at the 2. So to me, I feel Klay Thompson is going to choose the Lakers. That's just a prediction. We'll see. We know the Mavericks are heavily in pursuit. Who is the best NBA free agent still available? We've already talked about the top 3 guys. I would probably lean DeMar DeRozan because I don't really count LeBron James as a free agent. But let me know who you think the best free agent is available down in the comments. An underrated name who you might not be thinking of is the Tyus Jones of the Washington Wizards. He is very, very solid as a point guard, one of the best playmakers and assist mans in the NBA. Simply does not turn the ball over. It was reported that there is going to have to be a sign and trade. Maybe not have to be, but it will be likely that there is a sign and trade for Tyus Jones. So to me, I think he is someone that any type of team looking for ball handling, playmaking, it makes a lot of sense to try to pursue Tyus Jones. Number 5 is Caleb Martin, the high-level role player formerly of the Miami Heat, is expected to get close to 12 or 13 million in NBA free agency. People forget almost won Eastern Conference Finals MVP in the 2023 playoffs for Miami. No really market out there, like no reports of what teams could be interested in Martin, but it is just widely expected he's going to leave Miami. One of the better role players who has just improved year after year, outpriced himself for the Miami Heat, and it makes sense that a team that needs a athlete and defender on the perimeter could want the services of Martin to help them in the NBA postseason. We'll rattle off 2 here in Gary Trent Jr. and Buddy Hield. This is an intriguing 2 players here because Hield is someone who is a top 10 shooter in the NBA but doesn't play a lot of defense, and his stock went down last season after a up and down stint with the Philadelphia 76ers. But on the other end, Gary Trent Jr. has kind of been stuck in NBA nothingness with the Toronto Raptors over the past couple seasons, really not competing, but putting up decent numbers. He's one of the better flamethrowers that you can have coming off the bench. I'm unsure of what each of these 2 players are going to make. Like, it wouldn't shock me if Buddy Hield made $8 million per season, but it also wouldn't shock me if a team threw him the full mid-level. So I'm very intrigued to see what the market is for Buddy Hield and Gary Trent Jr., 2 flamethrowers that you could have coming off your bench and as a primary shooter for your team. Saddiq Bey, kind of shocked that he's on free agency. Don't really know what Atlanta's doing. Not at all. Wonder if they even keep Trae Young at this point. But Bey has been someone who they traded a little bit of assets to get from Detroit. The former first-round pick out of Villanova has been pretty solid throughout his NBA career. Did tear his ACL late in the 23-24 season, but is expected to make a full recovery prior to the upcoming season. But coming off an injury, what is he really going to get in free agency? Is it going to be on a cheap, like 1-year deal where he can try to just rehab his stock in the NBA and then cash in next free agency? It's an intriguing one, but it's also one of the higher upside guys you can sign with low value. Kind of think Saddiq Bey could be an interesting name to monitor. Malik Beasley is unlikely to return to the Milwaukee Bucks, according to all reports. Doc Rivers and the front office want to go younger surrounding Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Beasley had an excellent season last year for Milwaukee. I mean, he shot 41% from three after a rough stint with the Los Angeles Lakers. Beasley was actually in the three-point contest. He's always been one of the better three-point shooters in the league and used to be one of the top scorers off the bench for Minnesota. That was a long time ago, but kind of like Gary Trent Jr. and Buddy Hield, not sure what his market is going to be, but he is a veteran shooter that can play a little bit of defense. Not the best defender, but he's not the worst. So Beasley is definitely someone that I expect to sign cheap with a veteran team or a team that is looking to contend right now. The market for Miles Bridges is always an intriguing one. Bridges obviously had that off-court incident. He returned to the NBA after a lengthy suspension last season. Now hits free agency. Doesn't seem like Charlotte wants to bring him back, and you might think, why wouldn't they, considering how well he has played on the court in terms of scoring the basketball. I'm just not the biggest Bridges guy personally. Don't think he can play in a system where he's not taking the majority of the shots. Like, he averaged 20 points a game over the last 2 seasons, yeah, but LaMelo Ball was injured. He had a lot of volume. Like, if his role gets diminished, is he going to be able to be an efficient basketball player to complement whatever top players are on the roster he joins? I'm not so sure, but with everybody coming off the board here, like Tobias Harris, Paul George, and Isaiah Hartenstein, Miles Bridges does creep into our top 10 free agents left. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel because we are going to be live once again for NBA Free Agency coming up in a couple hours. We will also be live tomorrow as well, so join us for the best NBA coverage during the offseason. Precious Achiuwa is still a free agent, formerly of the New York Knicks, Miami Heat, and Toronto Raptors. Maybe New York wants to bring him back after Isaiah Hartenstein signed with the Thunder this morning. They acquired him in the OG Anunoby trade at the deadline with them shipping out R.J. Barrett and Emmanuel quickly. He's a little bit of an undersized center. I think he's better fit to play the 4 in the NBA, but he works extremely hard, knows the system, and if he continues to grow his three-point shot, which it's been a little bit slow in that area of development, but I think it can get to a point where he's shooting at least 35%. He could be a really good small ball stretch 5 in the NBA. Gordon Hayward comes in at number 12 here. Just was absolutely sidelined by the Thunder last season due to, I don't know, like, it just wasn't a good fit, I suppose. Like, when they made the trade for Gordon Hayward at the deadline, I thought it was a really good move, but he just never really got any playing time. The longtime veteran that has been an illustrious player in the NBA in terms of scoring the basketball just never found his footing in Oklahoma City. Like, look at the numbers. They don't lie. It's not like he was even that fantastic in Charlotte, but it's just a severe drop-off in Oklahoma City. He just couldn't really defend, but they knew that. They were looking to try to get a forward in Gordon Hayward to provide some veteran leadership and scoring off the bench in clutch time moments during the postseason, but he just was never able to earn the trust of Dagenhaw, and he just never really became a starter or a valuable piece on that team. Mo Wagner, who the Magic declined his $8 million team option, was a little bit of a surprise for me because he was one of the best big men in the NBA last season, and he's an absolute grinder. His brother, Franz Wagner, is also on the team. So I'm not ruling out a return to Orlando for Wagner, but he proved to be one of the best scoring big men off the bench in the NBA last year. He can shoot it from deep. He can score on the interior. Not the best rebounder, but he fights and he is going to get in your head. He is one of the more fiery big men in the NBA, and I would expect him to get a solid, like, Andre Drummond 2 for $10 million contract potentially on the biannual from a team. Maybe he returns to Orlando, maybe he doesn't, but I think Mo Wagner is a solid free agent still on the board. Haywood Highsmith is also still out there, and you might be wondering, well, who the hell is Haywood Highsmith? But I think he's going to get more money than you might realize. There is a report out there prior to free agency beginning from Michael Scotto that he could get close to the mid-level exception for non-taxpayers, which would be $12.8 million, which would be quite the surprise. There's a lot of teams listed who are interested in Haywood Highsmith as well. He had a career year for Miami beyond the arc last season, shooting 39% from three. He's also one of the best wing defenders in the entire NBA as well. A 3-and-D guy who, if he continues to improve his ball handling a little bit, I think he is someone that could pleasantly surprise whatever new team signs him, or he could return to Miami if they get him for $5 or $6 million. Taurean Prince is our last free agent we'll talk about here. I am a Taurean Prince guy. I want that widely known. I think he is one of the better 3-and-D wings in the NBA. And I know Lakers fans had their frustrations with him a year ago. And I don't know why, because I don't know what you were expecting from Taurean Prince. Getting 8.9 points per game on 39.6% from the three feels like pretty good value to me on his contract. I don't know what his market is going to be, but all I know is that if you are a team looking for cheap, athletic wings that can also shoot the three and give you average to above average defense, Taurean Prince should be your guy. Gets a lot of hate for no reason. Every time I watch Taurean Prince play basketball, I feel like he goes 4 for 5 for 3. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm his good luck charm. I don't know. But either way, I am a big fan of Taurean Prince. All right, call me out down in the comments section. If there is a player that I missed that should have made our top 15 list, let me know. Name a player that should have made the list down in the comments section. All right, that's going to do it for this video. Make sure you are subscribed because we are going to be live for NBA Free Agency today, tomorrow. We're going to keep the train moving. We'll be breaking down all the moves that happened overnight and in the morning, as well as moves that come in during the day. So hit the sub button. Join me, producer Jack Latteray, and Sam Brown, because it's going to be a lot of fun. I'll see you then.